Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 16 to 20 of chapter 3. Evam pravartitam chakram.
Evam pravartitam chakram.
Nanuvartayati hayah.
Nanuvartayati hayah.
Aghayurindriya ramah.
Aghayurindriya ramah.
Mogham partha sajivati.
Mogham partha sajivati.
Yastvat maratireva syad.
Yastvat maratireva syad.
Atmatriptascha manavah.
Atmatriptascha manavah.
Atmanyeva cha santushtah.
Atmanyeva cha santushtah.
Tasya karyam na vidyate.
Tasya karyam na vidyate.
Naiva tasya krite narthah.
Naiva tasya krite narthah.
Na krite neha kaschana.
Na krite neha kaschana.
Na chasya sarva bhuteshu.
Na chasya sarva bhuteshu.
Kaschidarthavyapashrayah.
Kaschidarthavyapashrayah.
Tasmadasaktah satatam.
Tasmadasaktah satatam.
Karyam karma samachara.
Karyam karma samachara.
Asakto hyacharan karma.
Asakto hyacharan karma.
Paramapnoti purushah.
Paramapnoti purushah.
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
आस्थिता जनकादयः
आस्थिता जनकादयः
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last session, we started seeing this principle of chakram, which he is mentioning in this verse number 16, wherein he says, one who does not follow the revolving wheel, thus set here, pravartitam chakram, sinful, delighting in the senses, he lives in vain, O Partha. So if you want to really absorb the deeper messages of this verse, you need to understand this principle of chakram in a deep way, in a yogic way. It is not only with respect to this verse, with respect to any verse, or we can even extend it to anything which you try to learn in life, you need to grasp the fundamental principle around which that system is working. For example, if you take classical music, the Indian classical music, whether it's Carnatic or Hindustani. Now, if you take a raga, now the raga is made up of certain notes, the swaras, and then the usage of the swaras, the pattern which you can create with it. Sometimes two ragas may have the same notes, but depending upon the permutation and combination, the pattern which you're creating, it will be classified as one raga, the other pattern will be classified as another raga. So when a classical musician is singing, classical singer is singing, one is he has to master the basic swaras and all that. But apart from that, what great classical singers do is that they capture the essence of a raga. There are certain patterns of a raga which will give enormous weightage to that particular raga. So great classical musicians, what they'll do is, they will always focus on capturing that essence which will create maximum impact when you listen. And then they'll work their whole song, whatever they're going to sing, around that essence. This is something which is very interesting. A normal classical singer will just simply follow the rules. The song will be sung within those swaras and they'll stick to the raga. All those things will be there. But it will not be soulful. Whereas a genius in that field, now he or she will not stick to merely the swara patterns. Yes, that is the basic, But just because they are singing that those patterns, no, they will not be happy. Intuitively, they will pick up those kinds of patterns, the permutations and combinations, which actually give the essence of that raga. And then they will build the entire music around that. It is not only in terms of classical music. You take any body of knowledge, let it be even from the worldly sense, unless and until you capture the essence of that, you will not really gain mastery over that field. This is what in Sanskritam language they called it as tattva. Tattva means essence. So even in the empowerment programs, when it came to the wisdom of the body, we what is the name? Kaya Tattva. That's what the great yogis called it. Kaya means the physical body and Tattva means the essence. Because when you pick up the essence, then you will gain the wisdom. Similarly, we had no Prana Tattva. Level 1 we have had. In level 2, we will be seeing much more deep. I'll be giving more deep empowerments, the energy centers, all those things we need to touch. So there also Tattva. Tattva means the essence. So if one has to talk about the physical body, no, you can just keep on talking for years together. But with respect to health, the Kaya Tattva, that contains the core principles, the essence. Now, if you gain that, you will gain the wisdom to increase the health of your body. Similarly, the Prana Tattva, there we had focused on the Prana Vayu Sharira, which is the aura, Now, how that controls the physiological functions of the physical body, all those things also we saw. And then how do you expand the aura to attract positive things in your life? Now, the essence was given to you. Once you get a hang of that, the entire wisdom will be at your disposal. So, dabbling with all the other things without capturing the essence will merely give you more and more information, but it will not help you to gain the real wisdom in depth. So similarly, our yogis have given Mano Tattva. Mano Tattva means the essence, the wisdom of the mind. That also in the future we will see. We have to see in one empowerment course to give the entire Mano Tattva, whether it's possible or not, very difficult. Probably we can split it up and have a series. We'll see that. It is along the same lines that they said, what is your essence? Your essence is divinity, the infinite. The very purpose of yoga is to reach to the essence or the core of your personality. So, as a sadhak, you should develop this habit of finding out what is the essence of anything which you're learning. And then you focus all your energies on that. The rest of the information and all can be easily gathered. later on. And even if you don't gather that information, whenever an application comes, you can refer to it, you can refer to the manuals or whatever, you will be able to easily understand. So, here also, if you really see what is the essence, that is what we are seeing in every verse. So, in this particular verse, the essence of this verse, we can say the tattva of this verse is in that word chakram. Now, what is interesting is, in a non-yogic approach, they will miss that. They will cover this. One who does not follow the revolving wheel, all that they'll cover, but they will cover it without a deeper understanding of what that word chakra really signifies. So, in the yogic approach, what do? Every verse, we first see the tattva of the verse. Now, you can apply the same principle in your life also. Supposing, let us say, you are dealing with finance, you are earning money and you are in the process of becoming rich, which every one of you should attempt. See, because more than what riches you gain, the experience which you gain and the amount of training which you give your mind in that exercise, that wisdom is invaluable. You know, to fix a goal, to be successful in that, to earn wealth, and then to save, and then to grow it and become rich. It is a lot of effort is involved. So your personality will also grow with that if you do it in the sadhana way. Now, if you take financial principles, for example, there are certain key principles, which is what was covered in that empowerment course of attracting abundance. There were few sessions which I had dedicated to explaining the tattva of financial management, the yogic finance management, the yogic way. Now, if you take finance management, it's a very vast field, but our yogis have covered the essence. Similarly, if you take relationships, we just now saw the Sambandha Divya Vignan, the essence of relationships were given to you. So, when you're relating to someone, even in terms of understanding the other person, if you get into every little detail, every thought, every emotion that person has and all that, no, you will get confused. You will never get a clear picture. So, you will have to understand the tattva or essence of every individual whom you're dealing with. A yogi always focuses on the tattva, and that is what gives you a comprehensive understanding. In life itself, in general, what are the key principles? When you take your personality, what is your tattva? If you go to the highest level, your tattva is that infinite divinity. From a relative level, your tattva is that nature which you have, what later on we'll be seeing Swadharma, no? In the same chapter, we'll be covering that. So, one's relative nature. So, when you have a clear understanding of these things, then it's very easy to relate to others. Even if an issue crops up, you will know what the solution is. So, this is a habit which you should build as a sadhak. If you just observe, if you just follow whatever the flow which is being set here, but in an observant way, then you will be able to pick this principle, how every verse we are getting to the essence of it. See, if you just follow something in a mechanical way, you will not be able to fix it. You will have to increase your observation powers. So start observing your own life in greater detail, the people whom you're moving with. What is the work which I'm doing? See, supposing you're working in a company. Now, what is the essence of the work? You should be able to define that. The core things, what is expected of you by the management. If you fulfill that, now you will be very successful in your career. Most people, they don't focus on the core, the essence. They just merely focus on other things, and then they say, I worked for so many hours, but the management is not recognizing and all that. So learn to get to the essence or core of everything. And in these Sunday sessions, what are we doing? We are getting to the core of what spirituality is. Even if you take our scriptures, so many things are there. But what is the essence of our scriptures? What is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? That is what we are focusing on. These sessions are not meant primarily to make you a scholar. Incidentally, you may gain a lot of information. You may become a scholar. That is incidental, but that is not our main purpose. The essence of the Bhagavad Gita is to learn to live your life. Last in the one of the last few sessions I had mentioned, about the existing and living. How, as a human being, you should start living your life. So that is the tattva of Bhagavad Gita. So our focus will be on that only. We may study anything, whether it's Yagna or some other principles. Later on, he'll be giving various other principles. We saw Parasparam, now we are seeing Chakram. Whatever it is that we are studying in the Bhagavad Gita, it will again come back to that central essence, which is how to make your life better. So this is a beautiful principle which we follow in the yogic approach. So you can make a note of that, and you start applying this in your life. You will start seeing a lot of positive changes, because your time management and all will become very good. You'll start focusing your time, energies on those things which are the essence in your life. So last week I had given you a homework to just see how this cycle is working in your life, the principle of chakra. So I'm assuming you did that homework sincerely. See, every Sunday I'm coming here and sincerely doing my duty, giving you this wisdom in its entirety. Now, you should also be sincere to this great sacred knowledge and do your part. And all this is for what? So that you can benefit better. Whether you do the homework or not, it's not going to make any difference to me, but it makes so much of difference to you. So, you can see life in two ways. One is you can see life in a linear way. That is a very shallow approach. You see the life as merely a sequence and stop with that. a linear sequence. But our yogis had a deeper vision. They didn't see life in a mere linear way. They saw it in a circular way. That is what we call as a chakram. The moment you see it in a circular way, now tremendous depth is added to your perception. Because so many questions which are unanswered will get answered. So many issues which you're having, where you're not finding any solutions. Now you will start getting solutions to all that. When you see life in a mere linear way, now the connectivity becomes very less. So for you to locate the root cause of any issue and then handle it, all that becomes extremely difficult. See, a simple example is you take this earth. Now, is the earth flat or is it spherical? Now, today you will say it's spherical because all of you have gained that basic knowledge. But let's just assume that we have not studied that portion in our education system. Now, a person, when he looks at the world, now the world will look flat. So he will look at the world in a linear way only. But does that give an in-depth, complete understanding of the world, of earth? Definitely no. So when you get an aerial view of the same earth, you see that it's no longer linear, it is spherical. So a person who understands earth as spherical, now he has deeper knowledge, deeper wisdom about the earth. It is the same thing with respect to life itself. Seeing life in a linear way is a layman's approach. It's like just looking at the earth around you and saying that the earth is flat. Whereas seeing life in a circular way is like a scientist who unravels the secrets and tells you, yes, no, the earth is not linear, it is in this shape. Similarly, our yogis have unraveled the secrets of life. And then when explaining to people, they use this word chakra to say this is the secret of life. Everything happens in a cycle, not in a linear way. So what is the implication of that with respect to karmas? That also you need to understand. The moment we talk of a cycle, it means whatever you give will come back to you at some point of time. That point of time when it comes back may vary. Sometimes you do something now, the effect of that will come back to you immediately. Sometimes it may take weeks, sometimes it may take months, sometimes years, sometimes janmas. What you did in some birth earlier may come back to you now. Now, if you don't understand the principle of chakra at work, you will not know why things are happening in a particular way in your life. Now, if you don't know the cause, how can you create a transformation, a positive change? It is never possible. If you merely see it in a superficial way, you will never be able to connect the right causes with the to the effect. It is in understanding this cause-effect cycle, what we call as karma chakra, that you can genuinely change your life. Without understanding the karma chakra, no one can change his or her life. See, there are people who see life in a linear way and in a very sporadic way. That is, they believe that whatever happens now, that's it. Why is it happening? From where is it coming? They are not bothered. What will it lead to? Where will it go? That also they are not bothered. They just keep sporadically acting, thinking, feeling, speaking in a particular way, whatever they feel like, impulsively, sporadically. And they believe, that's it, I am living my life. No way. You are not living your life totally. Life is not impulsive. Every cause has an effect. Every effect has a cause. So it is in understanding the principle of chakra that you can master the law of karma and then use it to your advantage, use it to transform your life for the better. So that is why when he's talking about karma yoga in this chapter in general, he introduces this principle of chakra to you. This is fundamental, this is required if you want to understand the other principles of karma yoga, which is going to keep giving. And after explaining what yagna is in detail, now he is talking about the wheel. So he is refining your perception so that your wisdom about yagna will also deepen. That is why we can, he says the pravartitam chakram, the revolving wheel, that wheel which is revolving. What is that wheel which he is talking about? Yagna, Yagna chakra. Now there are very many implications. When the moment we see life as a chakra, there are so many implications. We will see that. But first of all, just a small summary or a recap. What is that revolving wheel which he is talking about? The pravartitam chakram, the Yagna chakra. That is what we have been seeing in the last couple of verses. He gave the sequence, that is the bhuta. Bhuta means beings, the prosperity, the welfare of beings. Now, beings come from food, anna, we saw that. And then food comes from rain. See, independently, individually, we have gone into the depth of all these things. I am not going to get into that. Now we are just seeing the picture. So, beings come from food, food comes from rain comes from yagna. Now don't ask me sir, what does it mean? Then go back and watch that. I've taken it in detail. So, rain comes from yagna. Yagna, the selfless motive in your actions, comes from basically action, karma. That also we saw. And then in the next verse, we saw karma comes from Brahma, Brahman, the infinite. And then Brahman comes from the imperishable, Akshara aspect. And that comes from the all-pervading Brahman, the Sarvagatam, So now up to that, if we had stopped with that, it looks linear. How is that getting connected? How is the cycle getting completed? Then he says, therefore, Sarvagatam Brahma, the all-pervading Brahma, it rests on Yagna. So then the cycle gets complete, because who can do Yagna? The beings. Beings means you and me. We all only can do Yagna. So he completes the cycle so beautifully. And now he is using the word chakram, so that you are now in a better position to understand this Yagna. You are in a better position to deepen your wisdom about Yagna. So till now, you have been seeing Yagna in a linear way. This entire sequence. Beings, food, rain, Yagna, karma, Brahman, Akshara, and then Sarvagatam Brahma. All this is just a linear way. And then, without using the word chakra, first he completed the chakra. He said, after Sarvagatam Brahma, he came back to Yagna. And then he had left one step for you to discover. That is, who can perform Yagna? It is the beings. So the moment you say beings, again beings come from food, food comes from rain. The circle is complete. So he has introduced this principle in a subtle way in the previous verse, and then now he is actually directly saying chakram. See, this is another way or a method which the yogis follow. One way is to first introduce a principle and then the application of it and the practice. The reverse is also possible. You first, you are given the application and then the principle is explained. It becomes easier for you to understand. Both ways have their uniqueness and their own advantages. Depending upon the context, the master uses either of the these two approaches. So when you go to a master and take guidance, he will also follow one of these two approaches. Sometimes he may take a lot of pains to explain to you the theory part, and then when he feels you're ready, he'll say, no, go and act, do these things. Sometimes he may not explain anything to you, he'll simply say, do this. That is where the student should have the surrender. The student does not have the surrender, now it becomes difficult, because at that point, if the master sees that the student cannot understand the principle straight away, but he has to be helped, he requires a solution, so he may not explain anything. He may just say, do this. Now, that is a test of surrender for the student. Because from the student's level of knowledge or wisdom, he will not be able to see any logic in what the master is saying. He may say, will that really work? It looks absurd. These kinds of thoughts may come in the mind. But if a student has surrendered fully, he'll say, no, my guru has said this, so let me do it. Now, in the process of doing it, when you gain certain practical wisdom. Now, once you come to that level, then he may take it as an example and explain to you the principle. This is how a guru trains the student. It requires a lot of surrender from the student's side. That's why they used to put the students through a lot of tests before accepting them for training. So one is teaching, which is what is done in the Sunday sessions where you all are coming and learning this wisdom. That is wonderful. But specific training, for example, if you take the empowerment courses, it's more than mere teaching. Specific training is given. In the future empowerment courses, more training will be given, but a lot of filters are put there. It is a test of your surrender only. A student who fully surrenders will find the process very smooth. So we can see that he has followed the same principle here. In verse 15, he has actually given the application of this Yagna chakra by going back and connecting. And then he has left the last bit for you to discover also. That's what is interesting. And having given the application, now he is giving the principle. He says, Pravartitam chakram, the revolving wheel, the Yagna chakra. So we will see some of the implications of this chakra. See, first of all, when we say that everything in the world is in the form of a chakra, it's not an imagination. It is a discovery by the great yogis. It is not an imagination or it's not a creation. This is how the world has been created. We are only discovering these truths. A yogi who sits in meditation does not imagine new things and is giving us. Not like that. Whatever is there in this universe, those secrets, he discovers those secrets and then he gives it to others. This you should keep in mind because we cannot change this. This has been created in this way by the higher being, the higher power, the higher Shakti. So we cannot change that. But what we can do is we can use it to our advantage. That is what we'll be seeing. So the first thing, when we talk of a circle, a chakra, now you take any circle. A circle has no beginning, no end. This is the very characteristic of a circle. If you take a segment in a linear way, it has a beginning, it has an end. Now similarly, if you take the width, it has a beginning, it has an end. Somewhere, the boundaries are set. But if you take the circle, there is no beginning, no end. That is the first thing which you need to notice. Now, you may ask me, okay, sir, a circle does not have a beginning or end. So, what does that got to do with my life? I'll explain to you because when you understand that, it will give you a lot of inspiration. When there is a beginning and when there is an end, your starting point is fixed. You will have to start at the beginning and then you will have to go till the end. Isn't it? For example, you take a movie, now especially these suspense movies and all that, there is a beginning, there will be an end. So you will have to start from beginning and then go through with it and go to the end. But if you take a circle, how do you start? From where will you start? Sir, should I start from here? Should I start from here? Should I start from there? You can actually start from any point and then you can complete the circle. See, you just take a pencil, you just put a point anywhere and then you can draw a circle without taking off your fingers, you can complete the circle. You cannot do it with a straight line. You will have to, go in the reverse direction, or you'll have to take out your hand and then only complete it. The completion is not possible at one go. So, the moment something is in a form of circle or cycle, now the sadhana implication, the practical implication is that you can join that cycle at any point of time at your convenience. And then you can complete that circle. See, you carefully understand what is being said here. This is so important. When people come to spirituality, they ask, from where do I start? So, supposing somebody comes, let's say, has come for the first time today. They are watching this for the first time. Now they ask, my God, so many sessions have gone by. I missed all of them. Now I'm come somewhere in the middle. What do I do? Nothing. You start from here. And then, because these, like these, there is a cycle in these sessions also. The same things will be repeated again and again in different ways. So you start from this session today, and then you can complete the cycle. So when it comes to the Yagna chakra, we said beings, food, rain, Yagna, karma, Brahma, Akshara, Sarvagatam Brahma, again Yagna, and then beings. Sir, now from where should I start? Which principle should I first practice? Should I practice that principle of Parjanya, the rain, or should I practice karma, or where do I make a start? Now the answer to that is, you can make a start anywhere you want. That is why, it is often said, you would have heard me saying this many times, just pick up that which inspires you and start practicing. You will automatically get the other principles also as you complete the circle. See, that is the freedom in this yogic path, true spirituality. It is not rigid. See, a system, when it becomes very rigid, it cannot cause personality development. A system should be in such a way that it reaches you wherever you are. A system should not take you out of your life. Supposing a lot of rules and regulations are imposed on you, now your personality will not flower. So true spirituality does not impose do's and don'ts. Rather, it gives you principles and then values based on those principles. So when you understand them and then you willingly start practicing those things, whatever principles inspire you, you start from that, and you can complete your circle and you can reach the infinite. You can achieve perfection, self-perfection. That is the beautiful implication of a chakra. No beginning, no end. Most of the times people don't do anything because they say, I'm waiting for a perfect start. I don't know from where to start. So many years I have missed. This I have not done, that I have not. All these things do not matter once you understand that this is a chakra which is revolving. You just join at any point and then be a little patient, because once even a small arc of the circle is completed, you will start getting a hang of what's happening. So when should I start my sadhana, sir? You start your sadhana right now. Today itself you start. Even in the Yoga Sankirtan sequence, we have given from Monday to Saturday, right? Mahaganapati Dhyana, Om Saravana Bhava Dhyana, then Nirvana Shatkam, Sri Hari Dhyana, Mahashiva Dhyana, and Sri Hanumat Dhyana. Now, okay, today happens to be Sunday, so from tomorrow, today you're doing the sadhana of listening to the yogic session here. Tomorrow you'll start with Ganapati. Supposing somebody buys those materials on Wednesday, and now he's confused. Oh, I have to start from Monday only, right? So let me wait. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll not do anything. Next Monday, I'll start the Ganapati Dhyana. Not necessary. If you're buying it on Wednesday, do the Nirvana Shatkam there. Start the process. The cycle will get completed on its own. So our yogis always say, this moment is the best time for you to start your sadhana. This is the most auspicious time. Don't come and ask me, sir, can you please give me an auspicious time for me to start my sadhana so that best results can come? This moment, right now, once you've made a decision, that is your auspicious time. Why? Because you're entering a circle, a chakra. You're not going to travel in a linear way. So, all these factors, or we can say excuses, which your mind is giving. Oh, I joined late. Oh, this is in the middle of something. Let this thing get completed, then I'll start. All these are only excuses given by the mind. If you have the will, if you're determined to gain this wisdom, to grow spiritually, now you will not wait for the perfect moment and all that somewhere in the future. The perfect moment is right now, here and now. Make a start. That is the implication, the first implication of chakra. So when he says this Yagna chakra, it's a beautiful revolving wheel. Sir, from where will I start? If directly the Yagna is inspiring, start from there. If karma is inspiring, now start from there. What is each one, as I told you, I've already explained. So unless you have that wisdom, you will not be able to right now immediately grasp it. But anyway, it will be coming in a cycle. So if you say, no sir, the principle of parjanya, that inspires me so much, start from there. Even within that, so many cycles have been given to you. Whatever dimension appeals to you, take it up and start practicing. Can anything be more free, a system? Can it be more free than this? True spirituality gives you a lot of freedom. It doesn't curb your freedom, as many people think. It is only when people understood spirituality in a wrong way, they started imposing artificial do's and don'ts forcibly, that true spirituality got lost. That's why I keep saying there's a difference between religion and spirituality. In spirituality, there is that freedom. You discover, it's a beautiful inner journey. You discover your own self at every step, and you keep on growing, you keep on moving towards that infinite. So don't look for a perfect time to start something, especially to start something good, something which is beneficial. But whatever facilities which are given to you, whatever is the available facility, now use that and start the process. Set the wheel in motion. Don't look for perfect conditions. You can apply this principle in any aspect of your life. A person who does not know to sing will keep complaining about this is not okay, that is not okay, and that is why I am not able to. See, you see, people who are pessimistic and generally people who fail, that is, who don't really achieve their goals, they will be pessimistic and they'll keep saying this is not okay, that is not, that is why I have not been able to do it. Whereas, you see, achievers, it's not that achievers they never face any issues. They face a lot of difficulties, problems, but they don't get stuck with all that. They don't look for a perfect time for them to make a start. With whatever facilities are available, they make a start. And then as the wheel keeps revolving, as they start progressing, they will start improving their facilities, they'll start improving all the other things till they reach whatever goal or destination which they want to reach. So that should be your approach in life. From this moment onwards, stop complaining about lack of facilities, lack of things. Yes, you see, to make those to a perfect condition should also be your focus. But don't give those things as an excuse, a lack of those things as an excuse for you to start something. Start whatever it is that you want to fulfill in your life. Make a start. And then keep on improving things. Your capacity to improve external things will also grow as you get the wheel of success in motion. It is only such people who can become achievers. A person was standing, he want on the beach, the banks, he wanted to enter the waters and he was standing there. Someone asked him, what are you standing here for? He said, I'm waiting for the right moment when I can enter the waters. What do you mean the right moment? I'm waiting so that all the waves subside, then I will enter. To which this person laughed. He said, there is nothing like that. The waves will never subside, either now or never. Because the block is not external, it is actually internal. Whatever reasons you are giving, the external reasons why you are not able to do something which you ought to do, that is not the real reason. The real reason is internal. So once you understand the life as a chakra, now you get that capacity to materialize whatever it is that you want to materialize. How? You will start, you will make a start immediately. With a basic planning, immediately doesn't mean impulsively. Okay, that there also, see, everything which is being said can be misunderstood. So you have to be a little careful there. Immediately means not an undue delay. See, even to youngsters, I always say, some people ask me, sir, what is the right time for getting married? Even recently, one boy has sent a mail. Now, there is nothing like a right time. I mean, assuming you have come to a certain basic age, now after that, let's say you finish your education, all that, you get to a job at around in your mid 20s or late 20s, you start settling down, let's say. Then you can go for it. That's it. So let me get completely settled financially. That word settled has no end. Are you talking of one house, that too one bedroom house or two bedroom or three bedroom? Are you talking of a car? Right? If you start actually analyzing that, there is no limit to settling down. So in life, you keep postponing so many things, thinking that The right time has to come, then only I'll do it. In that process, you don't live your life at all. Everything gets delayed. So all this is an illusion created by the mind, the illusion of a perfect time. Now, here by using the word chakram, he actually demolishes that illusion. And it is when you demolish that illusion, at that point of time only, your mind will expand and you will become a free person, free to choose whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life. So, this is the first implication of chakra. So, when we talk of the Yagna chakra, whatever inspires you, you start at that point. If something is too difficult for you to practice, leave that. What is easy for you to practice, take that up. This is the practical yogic approach. Yogic approach is always very practical. It's extremely deep and at the same time extremely practical. So this is number one. Number two, when we talk of the chakra, so chakra means a circle. I told you the implication of the circle in terms of sadhana. Now, chakra also means a wheel. See, chakra means three things. One is a circle, other is the wheel, and third is a cycle. The same things being repeated again and again. So, we will see the sadhana implication with respect to all these dimensions. The main dimensions of chakra are being given to you. So, the second dimension of chakra is that chakra represents a wheel. Now, the moment we talk of a wheel, what is the wheel used for? The wheel is used to generally reach a particular destination, or to, if you take a potter's wheel, to create something. So, a wheel is always used for progress or creation. That is the very purpose of the wheel. So, what gives power to the wheel? First of all, you need to understand that. The first thing that gives power to a wheel is the motion. Only when the wheel is in motion, it generates power. You can use that power to create whatever you want, to progress in life. Supposing, a car is there, the four wheels are there, but all of them are not moving. There is no power. You may have the best, the Rolls Royce, a car. You may have a sports car, whatever it is, but the wheels are not moving. Then there is no use. All the other parts become useless. There is no utility if basically the wheels are not moving. Similarly, a potter is having his wheel. Supposing that is not moving, then he cannot create any pots. The creation is not possible. So the power of a wheel, it's in its motion. Number one. Number two, I'll give you the implication of that also. Number two, the sadhana implication, Number two, the direction. The wheel is in motion, but now the direction becomes very important. That will only take you to the destination, whether it's moving forwards or whether it's moving backwards. The same wheel, when it's in motion, if it just keeps on going backward, that may actually cancel all your efforts. So what is the sadhana application? Direction means, is it taking you forward or backward? Sometimes you may come a little back even in a car in order to move forward, to move in a slightly different direction if you know that this direction is wrong. That is okay. But I'm saying primarily, is it taking you backward or forward? Is it progressive or regressive? That is the question. So when it comes to your sadhana or generally in life, the first thing is, a stationary wheel has no power. There is no difference between a wheel which is stationary and any other object which is stationary. So what do we mean by motion? Action. If you want to be successful in your life, you need to develop what we call as a dynamism, the power to act, to be in motion all the time. If you are lazy, if you are constantly postponing, if you are late everywhere, if you don't keep up to a proper time schedule, now you're not setting any wheel in motion. So that wheel becomes powerless. So whether you want it or not, you're dealing with chakras only in life. That's why I asked you to do the homework last week. Now whether that chakra is in motion or not for you, that is the question. You're going and working in office. If you are not dynamic, there is no dynamism, then you are not setting the wheel in motion. So you will not get desired results. Actually, there will be no power in your activities. So the first thing that spirituality or this yogic wisdom will do to you is give you that dynamism. It will make you a very dynamic person. Most people, in the name of spirituality, they become lazy. Laziness is being promoted today, and that is being glorified as detachment. That is the worst part. See, many people, in the name of spirituality, they avoid dealing with money and all that. Why? Because they want to project themselves as a very detached person. Detachment is a state of mind. Even without money, you can be very attached. With money, you can be detached. There is nothing. It has nothing to do with the external situation. Yet people have these wrong concepts. Many people, they say, "Oh, I'm just simply working. I'm not interested in money." But then they suffer when they don't get many things. They start complaining. So if you're truly not interested, then what is there to complain? So it is just an artificial kind of philosophy which they build. It's not true spirituality. They weave that kind of artificial philosophy to camouflage their weaknesses. So you will have to set the wheel of life in motion. How? By becoming very dynamic. That is the very theme of karma yoga. A karma yogi is a dynamic person. Now you may say, "Sir, I am not following karma yoga, I am following jnana yoga." Jnana is intellectual karma. Jnana yoga doesn't mean just simply lazing around and reading some books. It's very active use of the intellect. And nobody is a pure karma yogi or jnana yogi or bhakta and all that. You have to practice all these things together. Does it mean a person who's practicing jnana yoga will never act in the world? He will have to act. So dynamism is a fundamental quality in spirituality. And it is only when you become dynamic, you overcome all your laziness and hesitation, See, some people hesitate so much to take decisions. They hesitate to start acting. Such people are not dynamic. They never set the wheel in motion. See, it's interesting. Some people are accidentally successful because they are put in a wheel. So they just follow things and they achieve some success. But when they are asked to create something, they fail miserably. Why? Because that dynamism, that confidence is not there to decide. That's what we call as dynamism. See, dynamism means in action, in decision making, in every aspect of life. So as a sadhak, you should become very dynamic. Once you become dynamic, now there is nothing which is impossible for you. Thereafter, we'll see the second step is a direction which you need to take. That we'll see in the next session. But the first step you'll have to check. This is the homework which I'm giving you for this week. Wherever you're not getting proper results in life, just check whether your dynamism level is low there. Are you giving excuses for not putting in the efforts? Are you blaming others or blaming circumstances for not putting in the right efforts in that area? Find out. It is a very useful sadhana. And when you locate areas where you're not dynamic, now simply get into it. Don't ask, sir, what is the auspicious time? What is the best time to start? That's why we saw that first dimension, circle. This is the best time. Start off the process. So you think about these principles and do the homework and come back next week. We will go further. The other dimensions also we'll see. See, the principle of chakra is an amazing principle, and that really helps you to master the law of karma. But let us go step by step. If you want to transform your life, this is the way. You are not dynamic and then you say, I'm praying to God every day. God is not helping me. There is a saying, no, God helps those who help themselves. Haven't you heard of that saying? Some thinker said that. It's a beautiful statement. You do your best, God will do the rest. See, these are all statements given by, I don't even know who said it, but it doesn't matter. What is being said there, is in tune with the yogic principles. Okay, so we will stop with this here. In the next session, we will go into more depth about what exactly the other dimension of the chakra and also other principles we'll see. So before we do Nididhyasana meditation, I will take up one question. This question is about the Yoga Sankirtan empowerment, which we are going to have by the end of March, the last week. Now, I'm sure all of you have seen that. So it's available in the website and when announcements have already been made. So you can go through the details. So the question has been asked about, the caption which was given there, infuse divine energy, build mental strength. So the question which has been asked is is what is the relevance of this in our life, and something has also been asked about emotional strength that I'll explain later. But first, the relevance of this. See, let me tell you something. Every year, when these empowerments are given, it is not that I sit and plan what to give, what to do, and all that. I am only executing the divine plan. In the sit and meditation, whatever is good for all of you, that message is given. This year you take this year you take that. That is why when many people ask me, sir, when are you going to take this course? When are you going to take that course? I say, I don't know. Let's wait. Whatever you require at that point of time will be given to you. By whom? Not by Yogishri. He is only a tool in that chakra, in that cycle. It is the divine which decides. To you as a sadhak, when you sincerely wish for your spiritual development, the Guru Shakti will guide you. I'm only following that direction set by the higher power. So, for example, last December we had the Sambandha Divya Vignan, the science of the divine science of relationships, right? Now, because why did we have it? That was very much required for all of you. The emotional purification, the emotional strength. And you all could see that. The energy levels were increased to a different height altogether. And even the sadhana material, the meditation materials are so powerful. So in continuation with that, the mental strength is very important this year, not only this year, for the coming years. See, there are many things which our siddhas have predicted. Generally, how the world is going to go in this Kali Yuga. Now, this process, that is from 2026 to 2032, is an important time. As the siddhas have said, there will be a lot of turmoil in the world, but at the same time, things are very conducive for spiritual progress. This actually started right from 2012. It's happening in phases. So, everything cannot be explained and open like that. Because then unnecessarily your mind will get conditioned. Then you will lose sight from your present activity to all these things. So, as per the requirement, that particular topic will be taken. So, with that faith, with that surrender, you just go through that. When the effect comes, you will know. See, when you did the divine relationships, that particular empowerment, the effect of that you could see in your life, no? What kind of changes took place within you during that 22 days. People were finding it difficult to even capture that in words. So similarly, this year, infusing divine energy into every aspect of your life. And then building mental strength, because for the days to follow, you require a lot of mental strength. See, whenever challenges come, you can either buckle under those challenges or you can really grow. You can use those challenges as opportunities to grow. That depends on you. So when we say this, there's going to be a lot of turmoil and all that, it's not like a negative prediction. I'm not an astrologer who sits and predicts. No, it's not that. I'm just saying a lot of challenges will be there. Now, in the yogic approach, what do? We are not bothered about all that. Amidst these challenges, how do we grow? How to convert this positively for our growth? What is required for that? Fundamentally, mental strength. So, infusing divine energy into your life and building mental strength. That is what is going to be the focus of this year's Yoga Sankirtan empowerment. So, Yoga Sankirtan can be used in infinite ways. Every year, whatever is required for you, that is being given to you. The Yoga Sankirtan empowerment energy is being directed towards fulfilling that particular purpose. Okay, so this is the relevance of this year's Yoga Sankirtan empowerment in your life. That opportunity is being given to you. Now, more than that, if you have, you go through the whole thing, and if you have any other question to ask, certain questions, if it's, will be answered during the course, but whatever will help you to prepare before attending the course, that also, that will be taken up. And already the preparatory energy, I've started giving that. The moment you register, the energy flow will start every day, that is being sent to all of you. But from your side, you will receive it only when you commit. So you register and commit. From that moment, you will find a tremendous change happening. So any other query you have about this also, to send them. I'll be happy to clarify your doubts. Okay. So now we'll do Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond my physical body, beyond my pranas, beyond my emotions and thoughts, lies my real self. My higher self is infinite and divine. From this moment onwards, I choose to follow the principle of Yagna chakra in my life. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So we had a powerful session today wherein more dimensions of this principle of chakra was revealed to you. Now it's up to you. Now you need to take it up and start practicing these things in your life. Only when you put the wheel in motion, you've taken the first step towards progress, towards success in whatever it is that you're doing. Just simply sitting passively and saying, I am praying to God, that is not enough. It should be translated in action. That is only true prayer. True prayer will automatically get translated into action. The so-called prayer or any spiritual practice which promotes laziness, passivity, that is not true spirituality. Okay? So, in the next session, we will go into more depth. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.